Alright everyone, and welcome back to the studio. This is High-Tech TR broadcasting from the Woodsdale MMS Central Broadcasting Center for the GSM recap on MMS. This is of course for the September 2021 GSM. Quite a few topics in this one, including two redacted ones in the private portion. However, there were no premier candidates and no announcements from the private portion, save for some member warnings, which I will not cover in this video. Anyway, let's get to the public agenda. First is one mod nomination, at least for this one, Harborandom 852, leader of the Republic of Mu1. His voting came out as 3-4, 6 neutral, and 4 against. As this is higher than the 3 against votes needed to deny a candidate, Harborandom 852 was unfortunately not promoted to mod. Better luck next time. Here comes a few community changes. Chief Pozek's first proposed moving sections 6 through 10 of GSMs to a consent agenda. Sections 6 through 10 are what you would expect to see in an ISM: transport proposals, event fundings, IATs or IABs, MRT proposals, and extras. This consent agenda means the items proposed are automatically approved unless they are pulled aside for extra consideration. This will speed up GSM significantly, but it will also require staff to read up the agenda in advance and write down any concerns for the meeting. However, this was rejected by staff, so the proposals here will have to stick to regular manual consideration and approval. Next, Avanish 2008 proposed to construct an official MRT history museum depicting the timeline and events in the history of the MRT server and accomplished feats during this timeline. Examples of which include major MRT line openings, moderator promotions, feats such as the largest airport in the MRT, and other significant events like the Amazing Race. Some less joyful events like Colefest or Modgate may also be featured. The proposal will also include 2x2 modifications in historic places of the Old World, a warp hub at the museum, and a rename of the existing Hill Street station to the MRT History Museum station. This original plan was denied. However, Avanish may build an unofficial museum in Central City. They can ask for official designation in the Warp Hub of the Welcome Center once it's done. Next, a proposal by PTLD Knight regarding Flag Park in Central City, originally managed by Tom Pears. He points out the concern of flags of unranked towns placed there and calls out for only town's councillor and above to be able to have a flag there, as well as allowing nations or state to place flags, as well as assign a caretaker. Based off of this, staff have decided on the following changes. Chief Pozek will now be the caretaker of Flag Park after the step down of Tom Pears as admin. Flag Park will also be extended to the area behind the MRT Mail Center. Also, metropolitan planning organizations, states, and any town on the town list are allowed to hoist a flag there. Finally, Harborandom 852 proposed to remove the seaplane limit entirely, as this is an unpopular form of transport. He argues that cruise ships take up way more space and yet have no restriction. This original proposal was denied in fear of catalyzing a rapid, uncontrolled growth of the seaplane industry. However, he proposed an alternative of increasing the seaplane limit. The alternate proposal was approved, and the seaplane limit is now as follows. Councillor towns get 2, mayor towns get 4, senator cities get 6, and governor above gets 12. There are a few transport proposals this GSM. One thing we haven't seen for quite a while is an airport proposal. This is for the Mu1 International Airport, the first airport proposal since Aurora International. This airport will serve Mu1 itself and members of the Republic of Mu1 such as Mu Rattler, Hightown, Mu Sai, and Mu Tung, in addition to the town of Kyoto. However, the two latter cities and towns, Mu Tung and Kyoto, are too far from the location that Harborandom proposed. However, he may move the location of the airport further south, putting those towns within range of the airport for a future proposal. Next are 3 road proposals. The B77, proposed by Burnt Cow, is to connect the towns of South Canal and Seaview. This road is to traverse a drawbridge built over the canal. Pending the construction of this, the B77 has been approved. Next, a B95 extension and the B963 from the last ISM, jointly proposed by Harborandom 852 and Kingsnake. The B95, shown here in red and blue, connects Spruce Hills to North Point, passing through the towns of Mu Rattler and Tin Tong, and interchanging with the B989 and the new road, the B963, shown here in green. This road simply connects Mu 1 to New Mu 1 and the B95. Due to inconsistencies with the drawn map and text, this was denied for now. They can submit this proposal again when a concise route map is given. Finally, the B255 proposed by Malesi. This road connects the city of Nymphalia with the town of Patagonia and the A360, giving both cities and towns access to the A road. This has been approved. We once again have one inactive asset transfer and one bypass. The transfer is for the town of Llewellyn, pardon my pronunciation, originally owned by Unit 1224. The transfer to Chrisyam is to allow for the expansion of Northern Pass for future builds. This was not approved, however, due to unclear intentions with the town and the map provided having no labels. The bypass is for the town of Glenbrook, owned by Callum JK. This was proposed by SPDev in order to construct the B750 and a river terraforming. This has been approved. We do have two MRT line proposals, but first, an announcement that the Arctic Line extension by Mr. Solemnis connecting Kalaro City Pine Park to Bristol is now open. I should also correct myself on something I said in the last ISM recap. What I said about two claimable stations was wrong, as they were all within 500 blocks of nearby cities. Hence, they were allocated to said cities, with A54 going to Kalaro City and A55 going to Bristol. Moving on to the new proposals, Mr. Solemnis has yet another one, a Desert and Southern Line extension to the Southwest Zeta region. These extensions finally give the region of Nansei Gunto access to the MRT. The Desert Line will be extended past its terminus at Grey Cloud to head west to Wanyanga and then turn south. Do note to ignore the solid line portion of the Desert Line that follows the Western and Southern lines. Instead, refer to the dashed line and bracketed station codes that traverses north of that. This Desert Line extension will add 17 stations to the Desert Line and serve the Nansei Guntu towns of New Singapore, St. Helena, and Wanyanga, as well as the towns of Sunflower Plains, Porton, and Wakam Beach. Meanwhile, the Southern Line will be extended west of Yukon all the way to Shanghai, where it will then head north. Once again, ignore the final stretch to SW50 and refer to the dashed portion and bracketed station code. This extension adds another 12 stations to the West Southern Line, serving the towns of Snoqualmie, New Ionia, the Nansei Gunto towns of Shanghai, Kazashima, and Shenghua, and finally Santa Abea. This proposal was approved. Finally, Autobus 22 proposes an infill station on the Lakeshore Line extension right after Aparia Latonu International Airport at L0. This new station will be designated LE1, and the stations after that will be renumbered accordingly. This was approved as well, and at the time of recording of this video, the Lakeshore Line extension as well as the Zephyr North extension has been opened. Finally, time for a few extras. There was a consideration of moving the GSM and ISM time forward by 2 hours, which would put it at 5 PM UTC. This was tabled for now as the staff will review if it will affect staff availability in a beneficial way. Also, the staff world as of this GSM is now open for members and above to view. Do remember to ask a staff member in-game if you'd like to have a look at it yourself. And that would be the end of this GSM agenda. So far, no new events that I can broadcast are occurring. My best bet is one of London's new game shows. Well, until then, thank you for watching. This is HiTech TR signing out from the HiTech TR on Twitch MRT Media Studio. This has been the GSM recap on MMS.